Booker T. Washington. Who was he? How did he affect our nation? And when? Are some of the very questions you might have that I'm also going to be answering in today's video. So this right here is Booker T. Washington. He was born in 1856. Booker T. Washington was born into slavery. He was freed due to the Emancipation Proclamation in 1965. If you've heard the name Booker T. Washington, then you're definitely familiar with the Tuskegee Institute. What we know now today as the Tuskegee University started as the Tuskegee Institute in Tuskegee, Alabama. It was established by Lewis Adams and Booker T. Washington. Here's a picture of Lewis Adams. He was also a previous slave, just like Booker T. Washington. The Tuskegee Institute was established on the 4th of July in 1881. Booker was a very influential individual for black people during the Civil Rights era. He was very public with his opinion, even though it opposed a majority of white America's normalities. I would consider Booker as the OG activist. He promoted a better way of living far before the Civil Rights Movement had taken off and was accepted by mass of America. In 1881, he founded the Tuskegee and Industrial Institute in Alabama. Martin Luther King gave his I Had a Dream speech in 1963. Booker was contributing 82 years prior to Martin's speech, and his contributions still help people to this day with the Tuskegee College in Alabama. Booker believed that segregation could and should not hold back African Americans in their society. However, he received a lot of backlash from other black Americans in the nation. His opposers suggest that African Americans should not have to forego challenging segregation, and they should have equal education, which is something they both agreed on. Booker T. Washington started the Tuskegee Institute on a plantation and made it possible for colored individuals in America to pursue and get an occupation and education. The Tuskegee Institute played a key role in some people's lives even after he died. At his death, there was more than 100 well-equipped buildings with 1,500 students and 200 member faculty teaching 38 trades and professions and a nearly $2 million endowment. Booker T. Washington gave his life to his institution. He motivated his students and fellow co-workers, and he taught young African Americans about economic success. So, after learning about Booker T. Washington and the progression of the Tuskegee Institute and University, I was actually really inspired. I really do look up to Booker T. Washington. Originally, the Tuskegee Institute only allowed black individuals, but throughout the 40s and 50s, as the civil rights movement was booming, they actually did allow white people to attend the school. The most notable alumni that I found that went to that school were Lionel Richie, which some of you guys might be familiar with, and a man named Theodore Kahn, who is actually white. So the school does promote integration. So I actually found a quote, and I'll put it on the screen now, from Booker T. Washington. And he said, if you want to lift yourself up, start by lifting someone else up. And I cannot even put into words how much respect I have for Booker T. Washington. A man who came from slavery and had no selfish bone in his body, decided to create a school for the oppressed. And it turned into something beautiful, and it manifested, and he ultimately got what he wanted 100 years later, even after his death. If this video can do anything, hopefully it can inspire you. Booker was a phenomenal man, and I have nothing but good words for him. However, the white evil doesn't stop, unfortunately. In 1932, a bizarre and unethical test was conducted on unknowing black men that attended the Tuskegee University. The black men were lied to and told they would be getting free health care, but in reality, they were given syphilis. They were given syphilis without treatment, and the syphilis test started in 1932, and it was active until 1972, when a man named Peter Buxton read about it and reported it, and obviously, that had to be shut down immediately. That's the most recent news from the Tuskegee University. It's still prosperous, and it still has many of alumni that attend. Yeah, hopefully you guys learned something in this video. Remember to stay inspired, and do your homework. If Mrs. Walker is showing this to the class, hello class, I love you guys so much. I love you so much, Hayden Gatliff. I love you, Alyssa. Miss Walker, I love you. Nick, Jesse, other Jesse, Caleb, I love you. Gabe, you already know I love you, bro. Literally everybody in that room. Thank you guys for giving me a great year. And if I'm not coming back, it was an honor to be in your guys' eyes and to learn with you guys, especially Miss Walker. Miss Walker, you're a great teacher. Thank you for being lenient with me. Thank you for accepting me. And I hope you guys have a great class period. See you later.